If you have been driving for 30, 40, or even 50 years, you have earned the right to feel confident behind the wheel. That kind of experience is genuinely valuable. It means you have handled bad weather, heavy traffic, unexpected road conditions, and situations that would rattle a newer driver. But here is something that the research consistently shows, and that most driving experts will tell you directly. Long experience behind the wheel can quietly work against you in ways that are very difficult to see from the inside. Habits form over decades. Compensations develop so gradually that they feel completely normal. And the physical changes that come with aging, changes in vision, reaction time, joint flexibility, and cognitive processing happen slowly enough that most drivers never notice the gap growing between how they think they are driving and how they are actually driving. This video is not about taking away your keys or questioning your independence. It is about giving you the most accurate, expert-level picture of the mistakes that experienced older drivers make most often, the ones that happen without any awareness, so that you can make informed adjustments and stay on the road safely for as long as possible. Knowing is the first step. Let's go through all 7. Mistake 1. Sitting too far back from the steering wheel. This is one of the most common seating position errors among drivers over 50, and it happens for a completely understandable reason. As shoulder flexibility decreases and reaching forward becomes less comfortable, the natural response is to move the seat back slightly to reduce that tension. Over time, what started as a small comfort adjustment becomes a default seating position, one that puts the driver significantly further from the wheel than recommended. The problem is that distance from the steering wheel has a direct effect on control. When you are sitting too far back, your arms are nearly fully extended to reach the wheel, which means you lose the ability to make quick, precise steering corrections. In an emergency, a sudden lane change, a pedestrian stepping off a curb, an animal crossing the road, the steering response available to you is dramatically reduced compared to what a properly positioned driver has access to. Your leverage is compromised, and your reaction geometry is working against you. The correct seating position places you close enough to the wheel that your wrists rest comfortably on top of it at 12 o'clock when your arms are extended, with your elbows still slightly bent. Your back should be in full contact with the seat back, not leaning forward or floating free of it. If reaching the pedals requires you to sit so far back that your arms are straight, the solution is not to extend further. It is to adjust the seat height, the tilt, and if available, the steering column position. Many modern vehicles offer telescoping steering columns specifically to solve this problem. Use them. Mistake 2. Checking mirrors, less frequently than required. Experienced drivers often develop a sense of spatial awareness about their lane and their surroundings that feels reliable and accurate. After decades of driving, you build a mental model of what is around you, and that model updates through habit. The issue is that this habit-based awareness is not the same as actually checking the mirrors, and for drivers over 50, the gap between the two becomes increasingly significant. The recommended practice in defensive driving is to check your mirrors every 5 to 8 seconds during normal highway driving and before every lane change, merge, speed adjustment, and turn. Studies of experienced older drivers have shown a measurable decline in mirror checking frequency that the drivers themselves are not aware of. They feel as though they are monitoring their surroundings effectively because their mental model feels complete, but that model is based on assumptions and habit, not on real-time information from the mirrors. This becomes particularly dangerous in situations involving motorcycles, cyclists, and fast-moving vehicles in adjacent lanes, objects that enter a mirror's view and exit it quickly if you are not actively looking. The fix is to make mirror checking a conscious, deliberate habit again rather than a background one. Some driving coaches recommend a quiet mental cue, simply saying mirrors in your head on a regular interval, to break the passive pattern and replace it with an active one. It takes discipline precisely because it feels unnecessary to experienced drivers, which is exactly why it matters. Mistake 3. Underestimating the effects of medication on driving. This mistake is unique in this list because it is not a driving habit. It is a medical reality that directly affects driving performance, and it is one that a significant number of older drivers are not fully informed about. By age 65, the majority of adults are taking at least one prescription medication regularly. Many are taking 3 or more, and a substantial portion of those medications carry side effects that impair driving ability in ways that are clinically documented but rarely discussed in the context of road safety. Antihistamines, sleep aids, anti-anxiety medications, certain blood pressure drugs, muscle relaxants, and several classes of pain medication all carry warnings about impaired concentration, slower reaction times, dizziness, and reduced visual acuity. These effects can be subtle, not the dramatic impairment of alcohol, but a consistent dulling of the sharpness that safe driving requires. The challenge is that the body adapts to medication over time, and that adaptation can feel like the side effects have resolved when in fact they have simply become part of the driver's new baseline. The most important step is a direct, specific conversation with your physician or pharmacist, not a general question about whether a medication is safe, but a specific question about whether that medication affects reaction time, concentration, or visual processing, and whether the combination of medications you are taking compounds those effects. Many older drivers have made adjustments to timing, taking certain medications after driving rather than before, that meaningfully improved their behind-the-wheel performance. That conversation is not something to postpone. Mistake 4. Driving with degraded night vision, without adjusting habits. Night driving becomes measurably more challenging with age, and the reasons are well understood medically. The pupil becomes less effective at dilating in low light as we age, which reduces the amount of light reaching the retina. The lens of the eye develops increasing density over time, which causes incoming light, particularly from oncoming headlights, to scatter more before it reaches the back of the eye, creating glare and reducing contrast. Dark adaptation, the process by which your eyes adjust from bright conditions to dim ones, takes significantly longer at 65 than it did at 35. The mistake that most older drivers make is not recognizing that these changes have happened to them specifically. Night vision decline is gradual and personal, and most people compare their current night vision to their memory of it rather than to an objective standard. The result is that drivers continue to operate at highway speeds after dark with the same following distances and confidence levels they used when their vision was sharper, when in fact their ability to detect pedestrians, read signs, and react to obstacles has diminished meaningfully. The practical adjustments that driving experts recommend are straightforward. Extend your following distance significantly after dark. Reduce your speed on unlit roads to a level where your headlights can genuinely illuminate your full stopping distance, a principle called driving within your headlights. Keep your windshield meticulously clean, because interior haze amplifies the glare effect dramatically. Schedule an eye examination that specifically tests night vision and contrast sensitivity, not just standard daytime acuity. And seriously consider whether late night or pre-dawn driving is a category worth limiting, not as a concession to age, but as an expert-level decision about when conditions match your capabilities. Mistake 5. Inadequate head and shoulder checks due to reduced flexibility. The physical requirement of checking a blind spot is more demanding than most drivers realize. It requires rotating the neck and upper torso far enough to see past the vehicle's rear pillars and into the zone alongside and behind the car that mirrors simply cannot cover. In younger drivers with full cervical flexibility, this is an automatic, effortless movement. In drivers over 50, and particularly over 60, reduced neck rotation and shoulder flexibility mean that the same check is physically incomplete, even when the driver believes they have looked. This is not a matter of effort or attention. It is a matter of physics and anatomy. A driver who can only rotate their neck 70% of the required range will have a corresponding blind spot in their check, regardless of how carefully and consciously they are performing the maneuver. Research into intersection and lane change accidents involving older drivers shows that inadequate blind spot checking is a contributing factor, at a rate significantly higher than in younger driver populations. The compensations available to experienced drivers are real and effective. Properly adjusted side mirrors, positioned further outward than most drivers realize, to the point where you can just barely not see the side of your own vehicle, dramatically reduce the physical blind spot and reduce the neck rotation required to cover it. Blind spot monitoring systems, available on most vehicles produced in the last decade and retrofittable on older ones, provide an electronic alert that covers the zone your physical check may not reach. Regular stretching exercises targeted at cervical rotation, recommended by physiotherapists and occupational therapists who work in driver rehabilitation, can meaningfully extend the range of motion available. These are not workarounds. They are expert-level adaptations. Mistake 6. Misjudging speed and gap at intersections. Intersection accidents are disproportionately represented in the accident statistics for drivers over 65, and the primary cause is a specific perceptual challenge that becomes more pronounced with age: the ability to accurately judge the speed and distance of approaching vehicles when making a left turn or pulling out from a stop. This is a skill that depends on visual processing speed, depth perception, and the brain's ability to rapidly integrate multiple pieces of moving information simultaneously. All three of these capacities decline gradually but measurably with age. The practical result is that older drivers systematically underestimate how quickly an approaching car is moving and overestimate how much time they have to complete a turn or merge safely. The gap that feels adequate is often smaller than it actually needs to be given the driver's own acceleration capability and the speed of the oncoming vehicle. This mistake happens not because of inattention or recklessness, but because the perceptual information being processed is genuinely less accurate than it was 20 years earlier. The expert correction is to rebuild conservative margins deliberately and systematically. If an intersection previously required a gap that felt comfortable, the adjusted standard should require a gap that feels more than comfortable, one that allows for the possibility that your speed judgment is off by 10 or 15%. Avoiding unprotected left turns during high-traffic periods is a strategy adopted by many expert senior drivers, including some who have decades of clean driving records. Using traffic signals, roundabouts, and right turn alternatives when available removes the most statistically dangerous intersection maneuver from the equation entirely. These are not signs of reduced ability. They are signs of calibrated expertise. Mistake 7. Ignoring the vehicle's condition as their own vision and reflexes change. The final mistake on this list is perhaps the most overlooked, because it sits at the intersection of vehicle maintenance and personal health awareness. As vision, reaction time, and flexibility change with age, the demands placed on a vehicle's safety systems become proportionally more important. Tires that are slightly worn, headlights that are slightly dim, brakes that are slightly delayed in their response. These are conditions that a younger driver with faster reflexes and sharper vision can partially compensate for. An older driver operating with reduced margins in their own capabilities cannot afford those same compromises in the vehicle. Tire tread depth directly affects stopping distance on wet roads, and stopping distance is the single most important variable for a driver whose reaction time has increased by even a fraction of a second. Headlight output degrades significantly as bulbs age and as headlight lenses yellow and cloud over. A vehicle's headlights at 8 years old may be projecting 40% less usable light than they did when new, precisely when the driver needs every available lumen to compensate for reduced night vision. Wiper blades that leave streaks, mirrors that are slightly out of adjustment, and seat positions that have drifted over years of habit. Each of these is a small deficit that layers onto the natural changes happening in the driver's own physiology. The expert approach is to treat vehicle maintenance as a direct extension of personal driving safety, rather than as a separate mechanical concern. An annual vehicle safety review, tires, brakes, lights, mirrors, and seating position, conducted with the specific question of whether this vehicle is set up to support this driver's current needs, is one of the highest value safety habits any driver over 50 can develop. The vehicle and the driver are a system, and both sides of that system deserve equal attention. The bottom line: every single mistake on this list is correctable. None of them require giving up driving. None of them are signs of failure. They are the natural result of experience and biology intersecting in ways that are completely normal and completely manageable, but only if you know they are happening. The drivers who stay safe the longest are not the ones who pretend nothing has changed. They are the ones who treat their own driving with the same honest, expert-level scrutiny they would apply to anything else they care about doing well. Adjust your seating position. Check those mirrors deliberately. Have an honest conversation with your doctor about your medications. Get your eyes tested specifically for night vision. Adapt your mirror setup and use the technology available to you. Build larger margins at intersections, and treat your vehicle's condition as an extension of your own safety equipment. These are not concessions. They are the decisions of an experienced, informed driver who intends to stay on the road and stay safe for a long time to come. If this kind of honest, expert driving information is useful to you, subscribe to the channel for more content built specifically for drivers over 50. Share this video with someone you know who could benefit from it, and leave a comment below if there is a driving topic or safety question you want us to cover next. Drive safely.